I'll test it. Can you hear that?
Showing levels.
Well, did that work?
Showing levels.
Well, I don't know what
I
else.
don't hear.
It sounds more like it's on where your output's going for your monitor. You don't have some mute thing on somewhere, do you?
No, I don't. I'm gonna look.
Is the camera set?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to go pretty soon. Are we good to go?
I think so. This is a test to see if we can hear our microphone system. I know you may be able to hear the crowd is verified, but can you verify that you're actually hearing the thing?
Well, but you were talking.
Well, there's only two.
What?
There's only two.
Well, all right. Well, it's being recorded.
Right. So I mean, I can't. Nobody answered.
Well, all right. I thought Melanie was going to come on.
Yeah.
All right. You think we're ready to go? Let it fly?
Yeah, I think so. I'm seeing levels.
All right.
I'll troubleshoot on the fly.
Shall we go?
Yes, we should.
All right.
everybody. Welcome, welcome. So my name is Reverend Angie Act, and I'm so happy that you're all here tonight. So is there anybody, okay, speaking in the mic, okay. Is there anybody that's here at this service for the first time at a service like this? Okay, welcome. So I just want to read you a little bit about what the service is about. So this worship service is based on the religion of spiritualism. It started here in Western New York in 1848. Spiritualism believes that life continues after the physical change called death, and that God is a loving God who wants only our greatest good. We are spiritual beings having an earthly experience as we learn lessons for our individual growth. Spiritualism firmly believes that the gateway to reformation or change for the better is always open to each of us. So one of the things that we love about this service is bringing people together, like people we haven't seen in a while, and meeting new friends. So we would love it if you take a second and turn to the person next to you and just say hi. Isn't that fun? Okay, so I'm going to open us up with prayer. Infinite Spirit, we welcome your presence here on this beautiful evening as we come together in love and peace. Amen. Okay. And I'm going to do a reading, and this reading is from Daily Om. Hang on a second. And this is called Following the Current. I'm going to put it here because I can't see it up there. Okay, so the expression go with the flow is a metaphor that applies to navigating a river. When we go with the flow, we follow the current of the water rather than pushing against it. People who go with the flow may be interpreted as lazy or passive, but to really do so requires awareness, presence, and the ability to blend one's own energy with the prevailing energy. Going with the flow does not mean that we toss our oars into the water and kick back in the boat, hoping for the best. Rather, it means that we let go of our individual agenda and notice the play of energy all around us. We tap into the force and yield to it, which gets us where we need to go a whole lot faster than resistance will. Going with the flow does not imply that we don't know where we are headed, but simply that we are open to multiple ways of getting there. We are also willing to change our destination, clinging more to the essence of our goal than to the particulars. We acknowledge that letting go and modifying our plans is part of the process. Going with the flow means that we are aware of an energy that is larger than our small selves, and we are open to working with it and not against it. Many of us are afraid of going with the flow because we do not trust that we will get where we want to be if we do. This causes us to cling to plans that are not working, stick to routes that are obstructed, and obsess over relationships that are not fulfilling. When you find yourself stuck in these kinds of patterns, do yourself a favor and open to the flow of what is, rather than resisting it. Trust that the big river of your life has a plan for you, and let it carry you onward. Throw overboard those things that are weighing you down. Be open to revising your maps. Take a deep breath and move into the current. And I'm now going to call Reverend Irene up to guide us into meditation.
Thank you. Good to see you all. So, to prepare for our meditation, just make yourself comfortable. You want to take anything that you have on your lap, take it off and just be comfortable in a comfortable position. There's no right or wrong way, but comfort is important. So, I will be doing a meditation, but first we're going to relax a little bit through breathing. And in this meditation, which is a meditation about loving yourself, loving your spiritual self, that is a part of you. So there'll be a 2-minute time of silence when you will be just there with your spiritual self. So know that it's coming, and then we'll pick up the meditation after that period. So, feel yourself just being centered at this time. Just centering yourself. Some of you may want to close your eyes or leave them open. It depends on you. But we'll start with a breath, a nice exhale, just exhaling any thoughts of the day, any hurry, worries, any busyness. We just let it go and see it evaporate. Pause and then take a nice deep breath in. Slowly filling yourself up to your collarbone with air, with freshness, with aliveness. And when you're ready, exhale again. Letting go, letting go. Feeling it, letting go move from your shoulders, through your arms, through your torso, through your legs, just all flowing out of you. Emptying yourself. And then at your own pace, inhale again. This time, feeling peace entering you. Peace and relaxation. And another exhale at your own pace. The final whispers of the day, just temporarily leaving with your exhale. And you're moving forward as you take in new fresh breath, feeling more at peace. In this guided meditation, use your imagination to put yourself inside an elevator. The door closes and you feel yourself going up. As you do, you feel a lightness in your being. It's as though everything of the earth is falling away and you are becoming lighter and lighter. You feel every concern that you have ever had fall away from your mind. Every emotional disturbance is gone from your emotional body. You are becoming light, becoming light, becoming light, and you realize that you are light, and that light fills the inside of the elevator. You feel the elevator stop, the doors open, and you step out into the vastness of forever. Around about you is every conceivable scene of beauty and light, and you are a part of that light. You feel yourself going forward. Before you, there stands a figure, glorious, radiant figure, and And as you approach, it holds out its arms to you for an embrace, and it embraces you. And as you look up into its face, you see yourself. The radiance and the power of it seems to wrap around you, and you recognize that you are one with it. And as you are enfolded in its embrace, you feel yourself becoming consumed in it, a part of it, until there is nothing that separates the two of you. You have become one. You feel that oneness. You sense it in every part of your being. You feel yourself being drawn back to the elevator. You and your spirit self remain unified together. You step into the elevator, the doors close, and you are still in this great and wondrous light, and you feel the elevator going down, but the light does not diminish. Downward, the light still bright and pulsating. Downward, the light still bright, still filling your being. The elevator stops, and you step off, and you are this beauteous light being. You come over, and you sit back down in your seat, still radiant light. While we're all in this energy, let's bring that and connect to that energy, and bring that energy into your heart space for healing. All of us together as a group. Breathe into your heart and feel that energy growing stronger and more beautiful. And now imagine someone in your life who could use some of this healing energy. Imagine that they are standing before you now, and you are sending this beautiful energy from your heart to them. Now imagine others in your life you'd like to share this healing energy with. And imagine them before you and surround them with beautiful healing light coming from your heart. Now open your palms on your lap and imagine a glow of our earth between your hands. Now bring that glow of our world in front of your heart space and start sending the beautiful healing light from your heart all around the world, lingering where it's needed most. And now with your eyes still closed, send out to those on the absentee healing list as your loved ones' names are read. Dorothy R., Daryl, Tor and Sue Lynch, Sandy M., Nellie F., Lori, Tom, Peg, Molly, Christopher, Erica, Alan, Madeline, Virginia, Greg, Dorothy, Gary, Cheryl, Amy, Ashley, Everly, Sarah Grace, Rose B., Victor, Lois, John, Brenda, Veronica, Roger, Raquel, Razor, Adam and Amy, Jennifer, Marilee, Marissa, Arnie, Judy, Carrie, Carol, Dylan, Glenn, Lucy, and Carter. Know this healing light and energy will stay where you sent it. And knowing you made a difference, begin to bring yourself back. You can wiggle your fingers and toes, shift your breathing, and at your own pace, open your eyes. Okay. And one last thing we'll do, just to cap it off, we'll spiritual that you have on the order of service. I ask the great unseen healing find what a wonderful world.
Thanks, Irene. Wasn't that a beautiful meditation, everybody? Yeah. And you know, with that healing, I just want to say, we can do that all of the time. You know, we can send healing, like if there's somebody in our lives that, you know, you just know needs some extra energy, just bring that light down, you know, and bring it to your heart and imagine they're there and just send to them. It really works. Okay, so we've come to the next portion, our inspirational speaker. And tonight who's here is Michelle Paterniti, who's a good friend of ours. And I'm just going to read you her bio before I bring her up. Reverend Michelle Paterniti is a gifted medium, spiritual teacher, and healer who has dedicated her life to helping others connect with their spiritual selves. She was born with a unique gift, the ability to communicate with spirits and connect with the divine realm from a young age, and has since used this gift to help guide others on their own spiritual paths. Growing up, Michelle was known as a child medium, and her abilities were often misunderstood by those around her. However, with her own inner strength, she learned to embrace her gift and use it to help others. With that in mind, Michelle decided to become a reverend and started studying various spiritual practices and healing modalities. She felt that her true calling was to help others connect with their own spirituality and find a deeper sense of purpose and meaning in their lives. So she decided to start teaching. Although she is self-taught, Michelle credits her learning at Fellowships of the Spirit to bringing it all together for her in a way that made sense. Michelle is also a gifted healer who uses a variety of modalities to help her clients release blockages and connect with their inner selves. She believes that everyone has the power to heal themselves and works to empower her clients to take charge of their own healing journeys. And I give you Michelle Paterniti.
Hello. I'm excited to be here. I love speaking, and I love when anybody ever asks me to speak. I always like to talk about stuff that happens to me, good or bad, and I like to talk about personal things so that I can talk from the heart. So this is going to be a deep one today. So about 3 months ago, I almost died. So I had a near-death experience. They call it an NDE. It has abbreviations, right? My friends literally saved my lives. One of my friends knew that I wasn't feeling very good, and she couldn't get a hold of me after a few days. And I was unconscious. I think at that moment I might have been in the bathroom. I don't know. So I was unconscious, and they were able to do a chain of phone calls with some people that are in the room today. And they got the police to me, got an ambulance to me, and the doctor in the ER told me you were about hours away from coma and probably a fatal result from that. So it was, life-changing, as near-death experiences are. And, a couple hours and I probably wouldn't be standing here today, right? So I think about that in the idea of like, I'm a medium, right? I'm a healer. I'm already spiritually connected. I'm intuitive. I already use all of these modalities, right? I already have all these senses. How is this going to affect me? Well, as I really started to process what happened to me, I kind of went backwards and said, well, this isn't the first time I had a near-death experience. This was my third. And then you think about all the times somebody cut you off, right? How many times you don't even know that you probably had a near-death experience. But I'm going to walk you through a couple of them and kind of tell you how I dealt with them and what I learned and how I healed and processed them. So my first one, I used to live in New York. You might hear a little bit of my accent. And I was just sunbathing. I was like in my early 20s, out in a national, a state park. And it was packed with people. It was a Saturday. And I had, I'm a child medium. I've been meditating and since I was young, and I went into, whenever I relax, I automatically go into deep meditations. So I was in a deep meditation for a little longer than I thought. So when I was startled by an energy, I opened my eyes and there was a man standing over me. And I knew at that point, as a woman, you have a fight or flight. You have instincts, right? Our intuition kicks right in. So mine kicked in and I just started talking to spirit. That's my intuition. And I started talking to God. Said, what do I do? In my head, I'm talking. I didn't hear a word this person was saying to me. And spirit just kept talking me through it. Just stay calm, don't move. Don't be too nice to him. Don't be not like, they were just walking me through of how to handle the situation. So I just nodded and they said, don't sit up, don't, and I'm very vulnerable at that moment. I'm sunbathing, right? I'm extremely vulnerable for a woman at that moment. And they said, you need to stay calm until we tell you, and you need to listen to everything we're saying. So before I had pulled up to that location, I was going to go and sit down by the water because I love the water. Obviously, I love that energy source. And they told me, stay up here, stay at the top of the bank today by your car. Okay, I've been doing this long enough. I trusted, right? And I trust that that's God telling me to stay up by the car. I didn't know why. So the man started walking down the hill, and all I heard was, don't sit up, gather your things. So I laid down, I just gathered my things, and I'm like as calm as can be. That's not me being calm, right? That's spirit helping me through and helping me to stay in that meditative state. That's why we meditate, right? So we can keep ourselves calm under, traumatic situations. By the time so I had everything gathered up and I had my keys in my hand and I was still laying down and all I saw in big, large letters in front of me, R-U-N, and then I heard run. So I don't know why I'm even getting emotional. It was like so long ago. I'm old, right? So like I grabbed everything up and I ran barefoot and I got in my car and I just drove straight all the way home. I was shaking and crying. And at that moment, I just like, in my mind, I just had to get as far away from as there as possible and to get to a safe location. When I was gathering my stuff, I did look around and realized that nobody was there. I had been in meditation for so long, not a single person was there. So I knew that I was in trouble, right? So I got home, you know, crying, and I'm like, I just literally out loud said, what was that? And I just heard serial killer. Now, I have no verification, right, that that's what that was, but I'm super spiritual, I'm intuitive, and I believe that's what that was. And I was in the most vulnerable, empty location you could possibly be. And I feel like I kind of like walked through and like, you know, really talked to spirit. And I've gone through and, you know, relived it, like to what should I have done, you know, that kind of thing. And I really think he had like walked down to the river to collect his thoughts on what he was going to do, and he was going to come back up. And if I had stayed, I think that there would have been a fatality or something bad, right? My second one, this is very uplifting, right? My second one was, I was actually coming back from Lilydale. So I adore Barbara Sanson, and she's an amazing healer. And she used to run this development circle, and I used to always just call it a love circle because she's just like a big ball of love, and we used to talk about wonderful topics. So I was on the way back. I had brought my cousin with me, and you know the weather around here. So I was driving back to Jamestown, and I must have hit black ice, right? It wasn't even like really snowing bad, but I was on a bridge, and I hit black ice on a huge SUV, and I just went like circles, like uncontrollable. Like, you know, when you hit black ice, I don't care how big your vehicle is, how big your tires are, you just go into circles. And at the same time, I could, in every, like when we were going around, I couldn't see where we are, but I kept seeing the railing getting closer and closer to the edge of that bridge. And I knew I'm going over, right? So all of a sudden, and I can't make this up, I literally lifted above my seat. So I was raised above my seat, and I couldn't, like, you know, it was like, my hands were kind of like out in front of me. And I just all of a sudden realized I'm going, right? And so I let my body relax. Like, these are things you don't know what's going to happen until they're happening. And I let myself relax. I'm okay. And then I heard, and same thing right in front of me, huge letters, keep going. And so I reached down and grabbed the steering wheel, and I got myself back in the seat. I got that big SUV over the side of the road, I don't know how. Within a millimeter of a second, a giant semi whished by me. My cousin was hysterical, and she just said, how did you, he didn't see us. I said, we probably thought, because it was dark and the lights were going like this, he probably didn't see a car there. Within like, I'm talking like when I didn't even have the car like in park, and he whished by, and the whole, you know, when they're so close, your whole vehicle shakes, and I had just been past that railing. So, you know, and we were just like, how did that happen? And I didn't tell her because I was just like, what just happened? Like, and I saw light. So when I was above, I just saw, they talk about a bright light, I saw that bright light, right? So the third one was a couple months ago. So the ER doctor told me you had a perfect storm. So I said, okay. He said, you were passing a kidney stone. I tend to get bad kidney stones. I had one at fellowships one time, and I had to have emergency surgery. So I was having a kidney stone. I was really stressed out with my new job, and it triggered my sugar. So if anybody has any sugar issues, your sugar is supposed to be at 100. Mine was over 430. Like, I was literally incoherent. I couldn't eat for various reasons. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't walk. I started to like just lose all control of my body. And I was like delusional, like I was hallucinating. If anybody's ever knows, if there's nurses in the house or doctors, they understand, or anybody else who has any kind of diet. And I've never been a bad diabetic, like my sugar's always been in control. They never really considered me a full diabetic. They did after that, right? And so by the time that, so what happened is my friend couldn't get a hold of me, and I literally had been blacked out for so many times, I couldn't like lift the phone. Like I was so weak, I couldn't lift it up to even like hit something. And I had crawled like to the bathroom, to like the sofa, and my friends got a hold of the police to come and get me. I crawled to the door, like I must have been blacked out, but he had pounded for so long. I came to the door and then the ambulance came. And the doctor just said, I want you to listen to whatever these nurses tell you. And I'm like a good patient. Like, I'm like, whatever you tell me, I do. What do you want me to do? Sure. Like, yeah, I have no issues with that. I'm not a hard patient. And he said, I'm telling you this because I'm trying to keep you out of a coma. And if I don't keep you out of a coma, you probably will die. And I was just like, what? Like, you know, that wakes you up? And I kept blacking out the whole time. I was in the ER for a couple days, the ICU for a couple days. I don't remember much. I remember people had told me I was coherent for periods of time, and I don't remember that. So make that very already long story short, I had some of those near-death experiences. As a medium, what do I do again? I went right into talking to God, talking to Spirit, and I just literally said, I know I've sent you guys out to help other people. I need you all here right now. And I said, I need help, I need healing, and if this is for my highest and best to be here right now, I want to be here. I still want to live. I don't want to die. And I said, but if it's my time, I actually said, I'm okay going. And I was shocked. Like, that was like, when I processed it later, I was like, okay, I've had some growth in the last couple of years, right? That would be something I would worry about or, not want, and I was okay with it. So then I had, spirits, I always call them my peeps. My peeps stepped in, and I saw all of them, and the only message they gave me that I could remember was that it wasn't my time and I still had work to do. And I accepted that and said thank you. And when I was unconscious, I could feel healing hands on me. And I get that when I meditate, like even when I sat there, I get touched a lot, and I know it's healing hands and I accept it. So that was happening. So again, why am I telling you all these really wonderful, inspirational things? I think I wanted to say this to just talk about something that even as mediums, even as spiritualists, even as people that are like super intuitive and that we're in touch with ourselves and our souls and our growth, we still can have these moments. We still have lessons to learn. We still have sometimes to be slapped across the face to do our healing and to find magic in all of our occurrences, everything that happens to us. So what did I learn from, we'll call them just the possible murder? It taught me to always protect myself, right? And to always be present at all times. You will never, ever, and I guarantee it, see me walking with my phone in my face. Ever. And when I see young girls walking around with the phones in their face, I want to take that phone and throw it into the road because they're not being present, they're not aware of their surroundings, and it's horrifying for me. And I also as somebody who meditates and goes into deep meditations, I'm also need to know that I need to do that and not in a public area and in a safe zone. And if I'm doing it outside, somebody has to be with me, right? We have to do this together. I have to start asking for help and start working with other people and as a team. The accident was actually, so that was a lesson for me, right? That was a very good learning lesson. The one with the accident was more of a magic moment to me, and I know this is going to sound weird, but it taught me that when it looks like it's the end and you have no choice left. When I was raised up and the light was there, I let my body go. I thought that was inevitable, right? But there's always a different view and a different perspective of what is happening to you right then. And don't be so quick to give up, even if it seems that it's inevitable. So that was important to me. I took the magic of knowing what I was capable of achieving. So I'll call it the possible coma. It's okay. That was a healing for me. It was okay to take as much time as I mentally needed to heal. And it's just as important to like physically heal as it is to mentally heal. I'm not a person that struggles with anxiety or anything like that. So this was the first time when I came home from the hospital, my little brother had come up to help take care of me. And I felt very different. So, you know, you have those, people talk about those near-death experiences and they say they feel like a different person, they think different, they see things differently. That was a big one for me, and I am a different person because of it. When my little brother was there, I kind of just sat and like stared into like nowhere. I felt very like zombie-like, and my body still is like, my whole body is like really sore still. It's almost like that trauma, it hasn't recovered from the trauma. And my healing, I had my little brother like text people back, you know. I'm sure like, you know, a couple of people here, that was my brother, you know, and I was like, somebody came to the door, I was like, you need to get that. Like, I'm not capable of like seeing people. I'm very outgoing, you know, I'm an extrovert, you know, I don't have any problem. I do theater and I sing in front, you know, like I am very comfortable. I couldn't see people for a long time. I had a really hard time, you know, actually being in a social environment. For the first 2 months, I very rarely went out of the house. I had healthcare came in to take care of me. I was that bad. And I just didn't leave. And actually in the last month was the first time I really have been out of the house. And that's like not in my nature, but I knew that mentally I needed to process what happened. I needed to heal and I needed to grow from it. It was allowing myself the time to heal, right? And not feeling guilty. I feel like too, a lot of females, we feel guilty if we sit still for 2 seconds, right? And I feel like people in general in this society now think that we always have to be going. And I really sat still and it was hard. It was hard to be still, and I did it very well. And I still do it very well. But I also had a hard time just facing something that was so traumatic and the processing that, why has this happened to me 3 times? And why am I still here? You know, and what is my purpose? And so if I leave you with anything, it's that I hope that this helps you stop and be present in your life and try and look and find the lessons, the healings, and the magic in everything. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I'm sure, Michelle, that each of us has taken something from those powerful words of inspiration. Thank you. And God bless your journey. All right. It's now we're going into our collection time. A place of worship is grown on love and strong intention. We ask for your support as we strive to grow in love and understanding. As the baskets are passed, we invite you to offer both your spiritual and your monetary blessings. And the ushers are going to come forward with the baskets. I do. That's good. Here you go. Thank you. And at this time, we're going to be singing I Am Light. going to ask a blessing on those offerings. We are grateful for these gifts. May their blessings grow as this place grows in faith, in service, and in the healing power of love. And thank you. I have several announcements. And the first is about the Guided Intuitive Development Circle. Join Angie online through Fellowships of the Spirit for a Guided Intuitive Development Circle every other Tuesday night at 7. Develop confidence in your intuitive and mediumship abilities. Each circle will begin with a guided meditation, followed by a lesson taught to help you deeply connect to your natural intuitive abilities. Then we will practice what we learn. So this teacher, this lady, is all about practicing what you learn so that you take it within yourself. So people of all different levels, intuitive development levels, come to this, and so you can get more details online at Fellowships of the Spirit. And Fellowships of the Spirit is thrilled to be offering a combined spiritual insight training again this year with both parts, 1 and 2, over 4 days. This experiential spiritual retreat combines learning about meditation, healing, and mediumship. Reclaim your spiritual gifts and take your intuitive abilities in healing to new levels. This transformational workshop provides a solid foundation for spiritual growth. And I will say it is transformational. I've taken it, parts of it twice, and it's people from all the states. People fly in from across the nation and come in. You meet interesting people as well who are interested in their intuitive abilities and developing them. So, and you do lots of exercises that show you what's possible, or directions you might want to move in. So this, it's spiritual insight training. It's offered 4 different times this year, March 21st through the 24th, July 18th through the 21st, August 15th through the 18th, and September 19th through the 22nd. And in case you didn't memorize that, you can find those details on Fellowships of the Spirit's website. Within a few weeks, Fellowships will have details online about its exciting new summer programs, including a mediumship retreat with Mark Thomas and an advanced mediumship retreat with Angie App. Medical intuitive Tina Zion will teach this summer, as well as so much more. So, have some nice downtime. You want to check out what's coming this summer in a few weeks, please visit the website. You may be glad you did. So, you never quite know what surprises might await you there. Pleasant surprises. Okay. So at this time, I'm going to turn over the podium to Reverend Angie App.
Thanks, Irene. She does a good job, right? Talking about our stuff. Okay, so it's time for the message portion of our service now. I don't know where my clipboard is. I didn't view with the names. So, okay.